Life outside the garden had begun, not with perfection, but with effort, pain, and hope, all mixed together. Adam and Eve were no longer surrounded by Eden's ease, yet life continued, and soon that life grew. Eve gave birth to her first son. She named him Cain, holding him close with a sense of wonder, saying she had received a man from the Lord. Then came another child, Abel. Two brothers, growing up in a world that was already different from what their parents once knew. As they became men, their lives took different paths. Cain worked the ground, turning the soil, bringing food from the earth. Abel became a shepherd, caring for flocks, living among the quiet rhythm of animals and open fields. Both worked, both lived. But something deeper was forming beneath the surface. In time, they both came to offer something to God. Cain brought fruit from the ground, what he had grown with his own hands. Abel brought something different, the firstborn of his flock, the best of what he had, given with care. And somehow, the difference mattered. God accepted Abel's offering, but not Cain's. Nothing dramatic was said at first, but Cain felt it instantly. His face changed. His heart shifted. Anger began to rise, quiet but heavy. God spoke to him, not with rejection, but with warning. Why are you angry? Why has your face fallen? If you do what is right, you'll be accepted. But if you don't, sin is waiting. It's right at your door. It wants to control you, but you must rule over it. It was a moment, a chance to stop, to turn back, to choose differently. But Cain didn't. Instead, he spoke to Abel. We're not told exactly what he said, but something passed between them. And then, out in the field, away from everyone else, it happened. Cain rose up against his brother, and he killed him. For the first time in human history, life was taken by human hands. The ground that once gave life now received blood. Then God came again, asking a question that reached deeper than words. Where is your brother Abel? Cain answered coldly, almost defensively. I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper? But the truth couldn't be hidden. God said, What have you done? Your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. And once again, consequences followed. The ground Cain had worked so closely with would no longer respond to him the same way. It would resist him. Life would become even harder. And more than that, he would become a wanderer, restless, without a place to truly belong. Cain felt the weight of it immediately. Fear replaced anger. He realized what it meant to be cut off, not just from the land, but from safety, from stability. He feared that others would find him and take his life in return. But even then, God did something unexpected. He placed a mark on Cain, not as a curse to destroy him, but as protection, a sign that no one was to take his life. Even after what he had done, his life was still preserved, and so Cain left. He moved east of Eden into a land called Nod, a place of wandering. There, life continued again. He built a city, named it after his son Enoch, and his family line grew. Generations passed, and with them came progress. People began to shape the world in new ways. Some raised livestock and lived in tents. Others created music, filling the air with sound from harp and instrument. Some learned to work with metal, shaping tools and forging new possibilities. Civilization was forming, but not without shadows. One man, Lamech, stood out, not for goodness, but for pride. He spoke openly of violence, boasting that he had killed a man and would take even greater revenge than Cain. What had begun as a single act of anger was now growing into something darker, spreading through human hearts. But the story didn't end there. Back in Adam and Eve's life, there was loss, but also restoration. Eve bore another son and named him Seth, seeing him as a replacement, a new beginning after Abel. Through Seth, something shifted again. His son Enosh was born, and during that time, people began to call upon the name of the Lord. In a world now marked by both violence and growth, loss and progress, there were still those who turned back, who remembered, who reached upward. And even in a broken world, that small beginning mattered.